Greetings, fellow witches and spiritual beings. Welcome to the Good Witch series. Today's video is learning how to create your own daily enchantment spell candle. The purpose and intention of this candle is to be used possibly daily, as often as you need. You can place this on your altar space that you visit, or you can place it anywhere else in your home. So some of the tools that you may want to bring with you to your ritual space is one candle. You can use a votive candle, a chime candle, whatever kind of candle you'd like. If you're using a jarred candle, you can use that as well. And decide what color you would like to pick. I chose purple because purple is my favorite color and it just makes me feel good. So whenever I wear purple or connect with the color purple, I always feel deeper connected with it myself. But again, you choose what color candle. If you don't have any color candles, you just have white. White is a great alternative. White represents basically all the candles, but it also can represent this idea of cleansing, so if that's something that you're looking for. Next, you're going to want to bring an oil, and this oil is going to be used to anoint your candle. I'm using my Love Spell Ritual Oil that you can purchase in my soul shop. The link is below in the description, or you can choose any oil of your choice. If you're going to use essential oils, I recommend rose, jasmine, patchouli, frankincense, anything that can be nurturing and grounding. Next, we're moving on to our herbs. The herbs are used to adorn the candle, or if you have a particularly larger candle holder that has maybe grooves or something in it that you can place items in, you can use the herbs and sprinkle them in there as well. Or if you're using like a cauldron and you're using sand or dirt, you can sprinkle the herbs around that. I chose rose, and rose is great because my intention for this is to create a more nurturing energy, so nurturing self-love and beauty into my candle. And the second herb I chose is calendula. Calendula to attract passion and sunshine into my day. This is a candle that I'll be using mostly in the morning, sometimes at night, depending on how my day goes. You also can bring a mortar and pestle with you if you have, or you can just simply crush up the herbs in your hands. It's a little bit more tedious that way, but it's fun too to just kind of feel earth in your hands, right? And next, if you want to bring some incense to cleanse everything, you may do so as well. I'm using a lotus incense. Lotus is great for this idea of transformation and blooming, so that's why I chose that. Alright, so gather all of your ingredients. Oh, also one more thing before I forget. If you want to carve into your candle, I highly recommend bringing a carving tool. I believe they're usually plastic, or you can use a toothpick, works just as well. I do not recommend using a knife just for safety purposes, so either bring a toothpick or a carving tool if you have one. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so if you're cleansing your items, again, you can use incense, you can even use sound, or you can just hold your items, close your eyes, and envision a white light, clearing out any energies that don't belong there. So as you cleanse your items, kind of set an intention of what you want to clear out in your life. Maybe there's self-judgments that you want to let go of. You don't have to cleanse your items if you don't feel they need to be cleansed. That's totally fine as well. You can even bathe in the smoke or the white light and cleanse yourself. Again, thinking about what you want to release here. And this daily enchantment spell candle is intended to bring enchantment and magic into your day, into your life. All right. So now we'll begin carving our intention. So if you already have your intention set, you can start carving. So I recommend either carving the words into your candle. You can create a symbol or like a sigil if you're familiar with them. Or you can work with runes also if you're familiar with runes. If you don't practice either of those, again, you can just write your intention in your candle, or you can write your intention on a piece of paper and place it in front of your candle as you are doing this ritual. And I'm choosing the Manas rune. The Manas rune is all about awareness and the self, right? And my intention for this candle and to visit this candle daily is to wake up and become aware of who I am and my purpose, and become aware of my strengths, my weaknesses, and really move through the day gracefully with awareness and being present. And also giving myself time to feel good about myself, right? So saying positive affirmations. Alright, so you can begin carving, or again, writing down your intention. And if you're not sure what you want to invite in, close your eyes for a few moments, and if nothing arises, again, just pick a specific word. If you want to bring joy, you want to bring passion, you want to bring self-love, you can also add that. Or maybe you keep your candle blank, and when it comes to you, then you add it over time. So as I am creating I'm going to be doing it 3 times. The reason I'm choosing 3, no particular reason, just this candle is kind of on the larger side, so I'm going to be adding 3 Manas runes to this candle particularly. And really be intentional here as you are carving. Take your time, don't rush. Doesn't have to be perfect either. This is meant for you and for you only. So I've carved 3 Manas runes on one side of the candle, and then I decided on the back of the candle I'm gonna write some just words as reminders, as a reminder to myself of my strength, of my magic within, and I'm gonna write those words on here. It is harder to write words, but again, it doesn't have to be perfect. So I wrote on the other side of my candle, I am a beautiful, magical being. And so this is a reminder to myself, again, of all my strength, my magic, and all the good things that I can do in the world, and all the good things I can do in my life, and all the positivity that I can attract. So now that you have your intention, your symbols carved into your candle or placed on a piece of paper, you're now going to, again, this is optional if you would like, to anoint your candle. Again, I know I mentioned some essential oils, but if you're going to use a carrier oil, you can use almond oil, sunflower oil, jojoba oil, or even, blanking here, olive oil. There we go, I got it. So again, when you're anointing your candle, think about your intention in your mind, in your heart. And you don't have to put a lot of oil, just a few drops. And the reason for the oil is to add the herbs. So if you have a dish, I recommend bringing a dish to your space, so that you can, there we go, moving things around, so that you can place your candle and then add your herbs later on. So yeah, place your candle on a surface that you don't want the oil to ruin. Oils can stain certain fabrics and stuff like that, so you want to make sure that you're on a hard surface that you can wash easily, if anything, or even if it's wood, it'll absorb the oils. So you're going to just add maybe a drop on each symbol if you have, and then gently just massage that in. And then the other side again, just about 2 to 3 drops, depending on the size of your candle. If you have a large candle, you might need more. Alright, so let me see if you guys can kind of see. Probably won't be able to really read my carving, but that's basically how it looks. You may need to add a little bit more oil when you add the herbs, but for now, let's just leave it as it is. So next you're going to take your herbs, and you're going to either crush them up in your hands, or you can use a mortar and pestle. So I'm just going to add a little bit here. You don't need a whole lot of herbs either, just a little bit. We don't want to overdress the candle because then it will burn too much. I've experienced that before where I put too much herbs on my candle and the flame was just huge. So I had to blow out the candle. So yeah, again, you can crush them. It'll take a little bit longer if you use your mortar and pestle. This is a more ancient way of crushing herbs and other flowers and stuff. Yes, rose and calendula are more flowers than herbs, but I kind of use the term interchangeably for them. Alright. Then you can play with the herbs. Sometimes I like to half crush them in the mortar and pestle and then crush them with my hands, especially if the calendula is like a little petal. It's a bit harder to break down than a dried piece of rose, which is easier to crush. And if you're not crushing up your herbs and you're just gonna adorn your candle holder or space, you can do that as well. Again, this is your ritual, your spell. This is just a guide for you if maybe you feel a little stuck on how to go about your ritual. Alright, so now that the herbs are all crushed up, you're just gonna place them on your plate or your surface. Again, you don't have to add a whole lot. And you want to make sure that when you roll your candle in the herbs that you don't go past that kind of groove part towards the wick, just because it may be hard to light the candle, or the flame, it might really burn, I guess. There we go. Okay, so if you need to add a little bit more oil onto your candle to kind of get the herbs to stick. Alright, so now you're just going to gently, with intention, roll your candle with the herbs. Again, it's not going to be perfect. Thinking about your intention. Alright, so here's my candle. Again, it's not perfect, but the herbs are now present, so I'm just going to let this sit and dry for a little bit. Definitely want it to dry before you place it on your candle holder. And if you have a jarred candle and the candle is completely plain, there's nothing in it, like there's no herbs or anything in it, you can anoint your candle with your oil and then sprinkle some herbs on it as well. So make sure that your herbs are in, you kind of keep the herbs a little bit further away from the wick so that it doesn't burn too much either. Alright. So once you've let your candle dry a little bit, just gently place it into your candle holder, whichever candle holder you're using. This candle's a little bit hard to get in. Okay, let's see if it stays. Some of my herbs came off, but that's okay. So here you have your daily enchantment candle with your intention on it. And you can place this on your altar space. So if you have a dedicated altar space that you visit every day, or maybe you have just a space in your home that you enjoy spending time in, and you can light this candle daily or weekly, however you decide to use this ritual. And I recommend when you light the candle, you can say affirmations or a mantra, or maybe if you have something written already, or maybe there's a poem that you really love, that you really connect with, you can also chant that as you light your candle. There's so many ways to practice this ritual for yourself and make it your own, and be creative with it and have fun. Magic and witchcraft is all about tuning in with yourself and with your inner magic. So no two rituals are going to look alike, and that's the beauty and loveliness of this craft, is that it's all individual and all you, and just be yourself with it. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me today and practicing this ritual with me. If you have any other ideas on how you can practice this ritual, or want to share with me how your daily enchantment ritual may be, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear. And yeah, so I will see you guys next time in my next Good Witch series video. As above, so below. See you next time.